Hi everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Ideal Homes webinar this afternoon. So today we've got a little change. We've got Charlie out of the office, so she's over in Lagos in the sunshine looking for great deals. So Charlie, what have you got for us today? Oh.
Hi everyone, I'm at Villa Branca. It's a development just near Lagos. It's 7-minute walk from Donna Ana, the beach that was voted the fourth times in the Algarve to be the best beach. So this is a development that's being renovated, and it's great for the golden visa because you can purchase a property here. It's really good for rentals. The rental returns are really good. We've actually got a spreadsheet that says what you can make, and also the developer can do the rentals for you, and you can make 4% guaranteed rental income for 5 years. So yeah, this development's really good for golden visa. So should we go and have a look at a unit?
Excellent, yes please Charlie. And can I just remind everybody, if you don't want to go on to any media, please turn off the videos. Thank you. So yeah, so this is in a great location, as Charlie said. It's the Lagos area again, which is, as we always say, is the best for rentals. Not many hotels in that area, so it means that people rent out the apartments. And it's about 45 minutes from the airport, and it's got a really nice town, marina, a lot going for it, really lovely beaches, and it is a very popular place. And Charlie, when she gets there, will let us know that she's at the apartment, and we'll be able to answer questions about this afterwards. We have Sasha available as well, who has got a real good knowledge on this property, and he'll be able to help you out with any questions that are more in depth than what we can answer with you today. So I can see Charlie's going into the entrance and down the side. So yeah, this is good for golden visa because it's a renovation project. So you can actually spend less on this to get the golden visa than you would on a brand new property. So that you can get a unit here for 280 through the golden visa, due to the fact that it needs to be renovated, and it will be renovated to a good standard, which I'm sure they're going to tell you all about very shortly. It's also it will be a really good one to rent out. They're going to be make it a lot moderner than it is now, so it's going to look like a modern building, which I'm sure they're going to explain as well. And I think we're here now at the apartment.
Thank you.
Hi Charlie.
Hiya. So here we are in one of the examples that they've already renovated. So this is one of the showrooms. It's really nice. That's the lounge. You've got a kitchen here, and you've got a barbecue area on your terrace. And this is a pool view. This is a pool view apartment. So in this development, you've got 4 pools. 2 are adult pools and 2 are children's pools. So this development, all the units here are seriously underpriced.
Looks like it's got a nice veranda as well.
Yeah. So let's go inside. Bruno, did you want to just tell us a bit about the finishings and what we have available?
Hello. I just want to talk about this apartment here in Mos, the condominium Villa Branca. Basically, this one is a 2-bed apartment. One of the bedrooms is en suite. You have plenty of storage on the apartment.
Lots of storage.
You can see on this bedroom we have plenty of space to put.
A walk-in wardrobe. So this would be ideal for rentals. And there's a walk-in shower here. Everything's very modern inside. Lots of wardrobe space there. So everything's completely fitted, even your TV. So this one's a 2-bed. You've got nice sliding door wardrobes. And then the guest bathroom with another walk-in shower. So what have we got available that's ready now?
At the moment, they just released 24 apartments. 2 of them are reserved already. 24 apartments, that is 2-bedroom apartments and 1 3-bed.
And the 2 bedrooms start at 220,000?
The 2 beds start at 220,000, yes, and 3 bed is 450.
But if you're looking to pay with cash and not take a mortgage and get the golden visa at 280, we have made an arrangement that your buying costs can be included on the deed price, so that you can then go up to the 280 value and you can qualify for the golden visa. So even if the property isn't getting you to that 280 total, we can do something there just to make sure that on the deed price, you know, you can add in your furniture package and we can add in the costs on there.
And if you're unsure about the golden visa, we do have a webinar on a golden visa as well, so look out for that one, because if you're wanting to know about it, you'll get to know a lot more in-depth knowledge on that.
I just want to talk also of the condominium. This condominium got 4 pools, 4 for adult, 2 for adults and 2 for kids. The areas of the 2 of the pools, they've got their own bar. Then you have also a reception and a restaurant bar also inside of the condominium.
So you can get a taxi or you can drive to the airport in approximately 45 minutes from here. The reason that Lagos is really good for rentals is because there's a shortage of hotel rooms here. It's always very sunny here. Lagos is good for any age group really, because there's bars and restaurants, lots of things to do. And you've got the best beach, about 7-minute walk. And then you can also go to Portimao within about 10 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes you're in Carvoeiro. So it's a very nice location, and yeah, these are underpriced completely. So if you were to buy it now, you could sell it in 5 or 10 years and you've already made money through capital appreciation along with the rentals if you were to rent it out. So I think, yeah, sorry.
I was saying, I'm just seeing that Sasha's joined us as well. Sasha's quite knowledgeable about this property as well, yeah. And I'm sure he'll be able to bring some information to us. I'm sure Tia will unmute him so he can give us a little chat as well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I didn't catch everything. I don't know how much Charlie has already said.
I've said I've talked a bit about the rentals golden visa, why it's a good investment, and a little bit about the location. But you know this development very well, so if you want to just run through.
Sure. Well, I mean, you know, if you're looking for a holiday home or you're looking for a property, there isn't very much on the market in the Algarve at sort of this price point. I think they're a little bit underpriced. And when you actually consider what you're going to be getting at the end, which is effectively a brand new property. So even though the units are nominally 30 years old, they're stripping them right back to the foundations effectively. All new wire work, all new pipes, everything. So effectively, you're going to be getting a brand new property. In terms of the sort of rental income that you're going to be able to generate, I've actually produced some spreadsheets extrapolating the kind of rental income that you're going to be able to generate over a period of 5 years. And I've also calculated the sort of capital appreciation that we're talking about as well. Yeah, so you know, quite a few units are still available for sale. So how it would work is that, so we have a price list for each of the units. 2 of the units that Charlie has shown you, or at least one of the units that Charlie's shown you, has already been renovated, but their plan is effectively that when you select a unit, you would put down a deposit, and then they would renovate that unit to exactly the same standard as you've already seen. And that's going to take about 3 months to do. And then you simply complete on the purchase. And then you then have an option of either living there full time, using it as a holiday home, or not renting it out, or renting it out some of the time, or fully renting it out and generating as much rental income as possible. And then regarding rental income, you effectively got two options. You can go for the sort of the guaranteed rental scheme that the resort is offering, which limits you to the amount of time that you can use it yourself. Now, if memory serves, I think you can use it only in the winter time, or possibly a week in the summertime, a week in off season. I'm not quite sure exactly what the limitations are, but they are quite strict because, of course, they want to make sure that they can generate as much rental income as possible in order to be able to give you the guaranteed rental income. Alternatively, of course, you can then hand it over to a rental agency. We have our own rental agency that can manage the property for you, and we would really very much like to have these units in our portfolio of properties. We manage about 100 properties in our portfolio right now. Lagos is a great location for rental income anyway, but this one particularly will give you very good numbers, return on investment, simply because of the sort of the price point that we're talking about. And so that's really sort of a summary of how I would sort of describe Villa Branca.
Thank you, Sasha. What about, could you touch a little bit on the golden visa? We've briefly gone over it, and I know that you're not, like Ricardo's the expert, but I know you know a little bit more than I would be able to portray.
So to summarize, generally speaking, as a starting point, to get a golden visa in the Algarve, you need to spend cash, not a mortgage, but cash, 500,000 euros. But there are discounts available to that depending on certain circumstances. One of the discounts that you can have is by purchasing in a low density area. The whole of the region of the Algarve qualifies as a low density area. So on that basis, you only need to spend 400,000 euros. So you could buy any brand new property in the Algarve, spend 400,000 euros in cash and get the golden visa. However, if you were to purchase a property which is over 30 years old, which you plan to renovate, then there is a further discount available. So in combination of it being a low density zone and this resort being over 30 years old, with the units individually being renovated, you only need to spend around 280,000 euros to get the golden visa. So to get the golden visa, there are really two components if you're buying a property over 30 years old. One, it must be a property which is over 30 years old, and you must have spent some money on a renovation contract in order to renovate it. So those two things must occur, and once you've done that, you can then get the golden visa. Now, you could buy any property which is over 30 years old and then renovate it yourself, or get a quote from somebody and renovate it and then apply for the golden visa. But what's great about this resort is all pre-planned for you. Everything's been set up. You know exactly going in what the price of the units are, exactly what the price of the renovation is going to be. So it's a very simple operation to get the golden visa in this particular case. However, the prices at Villa Branca, the units are around 230, 240, 250,000 euros. I think there are a couple which are above the 280,000 euros. So how do we get the golden visa for someone who's only purchasing a property after renovation of 250,000 euros? Well, you need to get a furniture pack, which they are able to provide to you for a cost. And there are also closing costs. There is the property transfer tax, which is the IMT, you've got the stamp duty, you've got your lawyer's fees, so these are extra costs. What we can do is we can manipulate the price by adding into the headline purchase price, the deed price, and include the furniture pack and the closing costs within that. So you're effectively paying extra for that, but then the developer will in turn pay on your behalf the closing costs and throw in the furniture pack and so on. So it's all costing the same, it's just the way that we're demonstrating the purchase price. So the key is that you really, in total, the unit price plus the renovation in total must be demonstrated to be, I think it's around 278,000 euros to get the golden visa. So that's how it would work.
Brilliant, thank you, Sasha.
To select a particular unit, I could work with you and do these calculations with the developer in conjunction with Ricardo Pica, the lawyer, to make sure that, everything is ticked off and that it's going to work for golden visa purposes.
Thank you. And do we know what the monthly fees are?
Off the top of my head, I don't know what monthly fees are.
Bruno, does Bruno know?
But I can.
Have they been decided yet? Like the condo fees, have they been?
Yeah, there is. If you give me a second.
We're just getting the condo fees for you. 100, is it 1,750
per year?
1,750 per year. For the 2 beds.
So around 100 euros a month, less than 100 euros a month.
Yeah, between 90 and 150, depending on whether it's a T1, T2.
Yeah.
That's good for all the facilities as well.
But just for you to understand, the 1 bedrooms currently are not nominally for sale. Okay, as far as I'm aware, unless they've changed the rules. Perhaps you can just ask Paolo about the 1 bed.
So Bruno says for now they're not selling the 1 beds, but they've got T2s and 1 T3 with sea views available for 450.
Right.
Also a townhouse for 290. So what's the promotion that you wanted to say?
So today they have a promotion for the people that reserve on the next 24 hours and do the promissory contract on the next 10 days. They will go down the price in 5,000 euros. So it's a good opportunity to save 5,000.
Okay, so we need to get some reservations down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the reservation. Yeah. Okay. We did the webinar the other day on the vines, and we've had 10 sales. I think it's gone over 10 sales now in 2 days. So these places are really popular, and if people want to, you really need to get in there and get a reservation down quickly because they do go fast.
Yeah, you can't find anything for this price in this area. So close to the beach, so close to Lagos Marina as well. Amazing for rentals. And if you don't want to do anything yourself, we'll give it to Ideal Homes. You can go with this company who are experts in it. So there's a couple ready now, and you can get the golden visa. So it's ideal.
Thank you, Charlie. We've got Lisa. Lisa's just asking Sasha if you can repeat the total needed purchase and rehab to get the golden visa. If you can just go through that again briefly of how to the purchase price and how you would do it with the furniture.
Yeah, so there is a cost for the furniture. And off the top of my head, I don't know. Charlie, could you just confirm what the furniture package is? Anyway, I think it's 20,000 euros.
Yeah, it depends on how big the property is. Depends if you're going to rent it out or if it's for personal use. They can get that negotiated price for furniture.
Okay, so anyway, let's just assume for the moment that the furniture pack is 20,000 euros. So if you wanted to rent it out, you would need to buy their furniture pack. So that would be a 20,000 euro extra cost. So if, for example, let's say you were selecting a unit which is with the renovation currently 250,000 euros. So what would happen is that you would add on top of that. So normally you would buy the 250,000 renovated and you spend 20,000 euros on the furniture pack, and then you'd have your closing costs, which, you know, the lawyer's fees, the IMT and so on might be roughly 6% on top of that 250,000 euros. So these are extra costs. All that we're doing effectively is that we're raising the deed price up to an amount. So it's above that threshold of, I think, around 278,000. And whatever the extra amount is that you're paying over the price list, okay, they will effectively throw in the furniture for the value of 20,000 euros and pay some of those closing costs up to the amount necessary in order to get it to the 278,000 euros. and any excess over that, you would pay yourself.
Okay, thank you, Sasha. Okay, is there anything more you want to add, Sasha? If anybody's got any questions, if you want to put them on chat, and we can answer them for you now. Anything else you want to add, Sasha? Anything that...
I don't think so.
Okay. Charlie? Hang on, we'll just do that.
There we go. Can't unmute yourself. I think when the webinar's finished, I'll go around and just do a little video. So if anyone wants that, because I think I probably went round the T2 quite quickly, as usual. So I'll do a slow video to just show you the show unit in depth, as that's what the majority of them will look like. And then obviously we'll get an email together with Sasha's rental figures to send to you and some information about the Golden Visa, but obviously we've got another webinar on that.
Okay, thank you. I think we've got Chris on as well. I think Chris wants to say something. If we can unmute him, please, Tia. Hello, Chris.
Yeah, I think what would be a good idea is if we went down and saw the local beach, actually. So that would be a very nice way. So I know it's a couple of minutes drive, and you can we can talk about everything else that's going on while you drive down to the beach.
Okay. Can we drive to the beach? Can we drive? Should we go now? Yes.
We'll see you at the beach.
Okay, so I will mute myself now and turn video off, and I'll see you at the beach.
Okay. So me and Sasha will entertain you and tell you a little bit more about the Algarve itself. So the Algarve is about 120 kilometres long, and we've got the east, the central and the west. The west is where Charlie is right now, and they are quite different. I think the east and the west are very different to each other. The east is more traditional. It's not quite as built up as in as many people visiting there. Everybody seems to have, over the past years, got off the plane in Faro and they've always gone west, and people are now starting to go to the east. So that is a different place. It's islands and things off the coast. Then we've got central, where you've got your nice rocky, cliffy beaches and interesting beaches down there. And then when we get over to the west, you've kind of got a little bit of a mixture of that. So you have got the beaches with the cliffs, but you've also got some nice spread out long beaches too. Like Charlie said, there's lots to do, there's lots of places to go. Fairly near to Silves town, which is a medieval town built around a castle, which is really lovely. I like to go there on a Sunday for lunch, listen to a live band overlooking the town. It's really lovely views right from the top. So there's quite a lot in the area. What do you like to do, Sasha? What's your thing? You're quite close, really, aren't you, in comparison to...
I mean, I live in Portimao, which is about sort of 20 minutes away from Lagos. I mean, fantastic restaurants. You know, there's, you know, every restaurants from every country, basically. You've got your Italian, Japanese, you know, you got your Mexican, you got your Indian, I mean, everything, basically. So I like to eat out a lot. You know, it's very inexpensive in the Algarve. I mean, the differential between eating in and eating out is really not very much. So, you know, it's a great place to socialize. You know, going to the beach, it's great. I mean, Lagos particularly has, you know, an abundance of fantastic beaches. In fact, the one that I think that Charlie's going to be taking you to, which is the closest beach to Vila Branca, is Dona Ana Beach. And I think it's been voted the most beautiful beach in Europe 4 times. So it's an award-winning beach. So it's great for that. You know, climate is great. The people are fantastic, very unassuming. You know, yeah, it's a great place. I mean, I lived in the Algarve for 35 years, and I have to say that I feel very privileged. I really do. You know, crime is absolutely minimal here. You know, in 35 years, I've not experienced any crime at all. Women feel very safe walking alone in the evenings. You know, it's a completely non-threatening environment. You In terms of, for example, if we're talking about sort of current situation with the virus, I mean, they've really attacked it very aggressively here in Portugal. So they've really sort of nailed down the sort of the infection rate. So, you know, things are starting to open back up again in Portugal. The political system in Portugal, I think the best thing you can say about the political system in Portugal is that it's boring. There's really nothing very much to talk about. You know, it's a sort of centre left or centre right political parties. You know, they've got a lot right, basically.
I think it showed with COVID as well, hasn't it? I think it showed with the COVID over the last few months as well, how they are, that they're very easygoing and just get on with it and make everything so that it's not too much hard work, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. I mean, the population, I think, are really quite understanding. I mean, you're not having problems like you might have in the United States, where it becomes so very political, whether you're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. You know, here, you know, if you're going into any shop in a restaurant, you have to wear a mask, and no one complains. Everybody's really quite compliant. You know, I mean, this is a very relaxed and sort of laid back environment, but not so much that things that can't get done. You know, it's quite a sophisticated place in many respects. I mean, I think it's something like 70% of the energy generated in Portugal is from consumable energy. I think it broke the world record for the number of days that it ran exclusively on renewable energy. So it's really quite a sophisticated place. You know, I don't think it really has many compromises. It's not as if you're going to a third world country. It's very much a first world country. The medical system is very good here. Really, I'm having difficulty to find anything particularly negative about the Algarve. You know, it's got great, you know, great connections around the world. You know, flight connections. Faro Airport is, you know, it's a modern airport and handle lots of incoming and outgoing traffic. The roads are great. You know, you've got lots of A roads. You can get across the Algarve really quite quickly. You've got a motorway, which is empty 90% of the time. It's never full, so it's very easy to get across the Algarve. People are very polite. You know, cost of living, of course, is very good. What's great, for example, if you're looking for an investment property, is that, you know, the ongoing costs for running a rental property are Portuguese prices. So they're really quite low. For example, the annual municipal tax you're going to have to pay in a two-bedroom property is going to be about 400 euros a year. Well, it's multitudes of that, perhaps in some countries. In the USA, it'll be many times that. And yet, the sort of people that are going to be looking at your rental property are going to be sort of Northern Europeans. You know, the vast majority of people that are coming to Portugal on holiday are from Northern Europe, from the UK, from the Scandinavian countries, from Germany, from the Netherlands, from France, and so on. Cost of living is much higher there. They expect to pay, you know, for rental property, Northern European prices. So you'll be able to charge Northern European prices, but your costs, you know, are Portuguese costs. So that's why, you know, rental properties really can work very well in the Algarve.
And the weather, we have such gorgeous weather, don't we? I think it's a fantastic climate, especially to live in. Because it's like we don't have snow or frost and things like that. But I always say we have Algarvian snow. So in January, when you're all in your wellies and you've got that slushy snow, over here we have the blossom of the orange trees and the almond trees. And so we call it Algarvian snow. So we walk around in these flip-flops looking at a blue sky with white floating down. And it's very, very pretty. I love January. But we don't have bad weather. We don't have, as well, which I don't like, is a severe hot summers. It's nice, it's warm, you know, we get up to 38, but it's not a constant, long-term, too hot time. It's nice, it's seasonal. I love seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I would describe the Algarve really as Southern California. So, you know, this is the sunniest spot in mainland Europe, very limited pollution, relatively low humidity, very little dust in the air. Great if you're an astronomer or something. It's great to look at the stars and so on. So when the sun is shining, you're getting a deep blue sky. And so, you know, the weather is just, you know, it's difficult to beat. I mean, there are, you know, 20 or 30 days in the year which are absolutely perfect. I mean, just unbeatable days. And because we're closer to the main body of the Atlantic, you know, it equalizes the temperature a little bit. So what does that mean? It means that in the winter time, the temperature tends to be warmer than it is, let's say, in Spain. But in the summertime, it tends to be cooler than it is in Spain. It doesn't get that oppressive heat that you have in Spain. And that's the reason why, for example, you don't have siestas in Portugal, unlike in Spain. You couldn't live without siestas in Spain. But in Portugal, it just doesn't get hot enough for that.
Okay, I think we've got to the beach.
That took a little bit.
Hi, so we're at Portuguese beach.
Okay.
And it's absolutely boiling. I really need to invest in some thinner clothes. The sea is so blue. It never looks as good on a phone, but it's really amazing here. And just at the front of the sea, it's completely see-through. And then as it gets deeper, it becomes like a greeny and then a blue and then purple. It's really lovely.
Charlie, just go to that restaurant there. That's a great spot. If you walk there, Charlie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Campomar restaurant.
Fantastic seafood at that restaurant. Absolutely fantastic seafood. That's another thing that's great about the Algarve. I mean, it's absolutely fresh. So this is the Algarve.
Yes, I love my seafood.
So what me and Rene have actually decided on the way here was that we're going to pick up Bruno and push him in the sea. So we're going to do that now. So I just wanted to introduce you to Rene because he doesn't want to be on the camera, but he's the one that's made over, I think, 10 sales in the last 2 weeks. So how many did you sell in the vines? Maybe 7 to 10. So you're going to get 14 in Villabranca. So if you purchase within the next 24 hours in the development that we just showed you, and if you go to Promissory within the next 10 days, is it? Then you get 5,000 off the purchase price.
Basically, you don't pay the lawyer. We have the lawyer's fees paid, and you.
The lawyer works for free.
Like that.
So
Sorry, can we say what the offer is again, Charlie? It's just a little bit crackly. Just to make sure.
So the offer is that if you purchase, oh God, it is windy, isn't it? The breeze is nice though. If you reserve within the next 24 hours, if you do the promissory contract in the next 10 days, then you get 5,000 off the purchase price.
Very good. Good offer, and a good offer on a good deal. You don't see very often. Brilliant.
Let me just, have we run through basically the basic sort of purchase process at all?
No, not before you came. Sasha, you can go through that if you want.
So basically, the way it would work is that we would, you know, show you a price list, show you the relative units, and run you through the location of a particular unit, then zero down on that particular unit. And if you're making a decision within the next 24 hours, then obviously we'll be subtracting 5,000 euros off that. You will be sending over a 6,000 euro holding reservation, refundable reservation, into Ricardo Pica's client holding account. What would then happen is that the lawyer would collect from the developer sort of the paperwork associated with your property, and he would then draft a sort of a contract detailing full the unit you're buying, the price that you're buying it for. There would be a contract there stipulating the renovation side of the unit. So everything will be detailed within that contract. That contract would be in both English and Portuguese side by side. Portuguese is necessary. English is obviously for your benefit. Once you're sort of happy with that, it would then be that you would send over the deposit, which in this case would be 30%, minus the sort of 6,000 euros, which has been sitting in the lawyer's client and holding account, which will then form part of that deposit. The lawyer can then sign the contract on your behalf. For this stage of the process, he doesn't need power of attorney. Then what would happen is that once the deposit had been paid, the developer would get to work to start to do the renovation. Once the renovation is completed, it's at that stage that you would then need to pay the balance. Of course, if you're looking for a mortgage, then of course we'd be confirming that you can get a mortgage. We'd be getting quotes from a number of different banks and so on, and then the balance, of course, will be being paid by the bank. So it's effectively, it's sort of by definition, a 3-month process because of the time that it's going to take to renovate the unit. Unless, of course, you're selecting one of the 2 units which are already renovated, in which case you can buy them right now, and complete in the next few days.
I've just got a couple of questions from Jeff. It says, besides the pools in the development, is there anything else there or close around?
Well, there is a restaurant, there is a bar there as well, there is a reception area. I'm not sure if it's a tennis court. I can't quite remember now if it's a tennis court. I have to check that out. But there is lots of restaurants and cafes close by. The center of Lagos is only about 7 minutes away, and Lagos itself is it's probably the prettiest town in the Algarve. It's over 1,000 years old. Lots of cobbled streets, lots of beautiful restaurants and cafes and little boutiques and so on. There's a really nice promenade. There's a really nice marina. In my opinion, it's the prettiest marina in the Algarve. So you've got everything literally on your doorstep to the resort. And that's why it really works well, not only as a holiday home, but as a rental income generator, because it pretty much ticks all the boxes for that. It's really nothing missing in terms of sort of rental income. In terms of, so I think that's it,
And how close would you say it is to the beach? I know we've just seen, but the closest beach to it, how long would it take you to get there?
I would say it's about a 5-minute walk to the beach. They didn't go to Donnarumma.
Not the one you expected.
They went to a completely different beach, a little bit further away. But the closest beach is Donnarumma Beach, which is around the corner. I mean, I haven't walked it. So I can't, hand on my heart, say it's exactly 5 minutes. But it's round the corner. It's round the corner. It's not long. It's not long.
Okay, and then Jeff was just saying what will be the ongoing maintenance and upkeep costs, and then the other cash outflows for the property on an ongoing basis.
So let me have a look, and I'll run you through some.
So if you're talking about the condominium fees, it's going to be approximately 90 to 150 euros per month. That includes everything. If you were going to rent it out through Ideal Homes, which you can most likely make more than 4% per year rental income, then they can tell you all about the charges. We let you keep 90% of your income, and then we charge 1,000 per year as well. But the resort does offer a guaranteed rental of 4% for 5 years. So it's just up to you really which route you want to go down. Do you want guaranteed, or do you want to take a risk but probably make more income? So
what's the beach called? What's the beach called where you are, Charlie?
Well, we were meant to go to Donnarumma, but Bruno went the wrong way. Nearly don't. I
think we've got a bit too windy now. Okay, so if anybody's got any further questions, we've got Sasha and Charlie and Rennie available to help you answer any questions at all. Tia will put on the email to contact people with so that you know who to contact. Also, people will be in touch with you. We'll answer more questions. If you've got any personal questions, anything like that, that you would rather talk one-on-one, we'll be able to do that for you. And don't forget, you need to get the reservations down if you want to be a lucky person that has one of these properties to get your 5,000 euros discount, and also to get one because they will go fast, these properties. Thank you, and keep a lookout for all those webinars. We're doing 2 weeks of webinars. We've got everything you need to know within the next week or so, and so please join us, and we'll see you soon, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Hey, all the best. Bye.